Hello, hello again. Thank you so much for having me on. Um, the Women's Self Improvement Network is a great network, and I have an awesome friend joining us today. But I want to thank Ralph Ann for having me on again in this great group. And if you didn't see my other videos about Thrive, feel free to go into the group and watch my other videos because there's a lot of information there. But today I have a special guest, my friend Kelly Hoover, who has been thriving for almost 5 years now, and she's going to share her wonderful Thrive story to give you all kinds of information about how awesome this product is. So, welcome, Kelly.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me inside your community. What an honor to be around so many women who are really improving themselves within their business and their personal life. And certainly, in my eyes, that all starts with how we feel from the inside out, because we cannot show up for our families, for our businesses to grow and to improve ourselves if we don't take care of what is happening inside our body. So I am excited to share a little bit about my story today. Since I've been on the Thrive Experience for 5 years, there's a lot to my story, but I'm really going to focus in on what I felt like that very first 30 days when I began to take the Thrive Experience. I was in pharmaceuticals, and I had been in that industry, in the medical industry, for almost 15 years at that point. I was working 50, 60 hours a week. I had two small children. My husband travels. At that point he did, not now clearly, but at that point he did. And I was just juggling a lot of things, work life. I didn't have my own business or anything, but I had a lot of demands in my life, family and professionally. And I'm sure some of you feel that way too. I almost describe it as like we're juggling a bunch of glass balls, and we're just making sure that we catch them all so they don't fall and hit the ground, right? And I just felt like I was swimming and keeping my head above water. Well, I saw a friend of mine, similar to Tish, sharing about the Thrive Experience and really sharing what she felt like on the product. And I was very skeptical. I think coming from the medical community, I didn't really believe that vitamins or a patch or something so simple could physically make me feel different. And part of it is because I had tried a lot of different things, whether it was for weight loss or whether it was just nutritional things. And not to say that other things weren't good, but they had too many rules. I had to drink my lunch or drink my dinner, or I had to take a bunch of things throughout the day, and I couldn't stay compliant with it, or it was too expensive. And so I began following her journey, and I followed her for a few months. And then my skepticism got the best of me and decided, why not? Like, why not give it a shot? So I dove in, I committed to doing it for 30 days. And honestly, that's what I thought I was doing. I was committing for 30 days back in 2015. So I want to describe to you the very first things I physically felt during that. So the very first day I began the product, I loved how simple it was. I loved that it was easy. You take your capsules in the morning, you drink your lifestyle mix, you put on a patch, and you're done. Like, you were done for the day. I didn't have to take anything with me to work. I didn't have to worry about doing things throughout the day or all these rules. And I liked that. I know that you can relate to that. You are, in business, you got a lot of things going on, and you need simplicity so you can stick to a program. So I loved that. I loved the energy. I loved the energy that I felt day 3. I felt it first in the afternoon and the evening. I was a big coffee drinker. I was an energy drinker. I drank a lot of synthetic caffeine because I needed it. But the reality is that once I started thriving, I just cold turkey quit the caffeine because I wanted to let the product work. And it's amazing. I will never forget the third day on the product. It was 8:30 at night. My girls were in bed, and I'm motivated to do the dishes. And my husband is like, what is going on? And I'm like, I don't know. It's probably placebo. She told me I'm supposed to feel this way, so I'm feeling this way. I thought it was all in my head. But then it just kept getting better. So it gave me the energy. And I want you to think, if you are someone who struggles with that afternoon crash, with that evening crash, you're giving so much to your business, to your job, that when you do have that evening time to yourself or to your family, you're too worn out, you're too exhausted, then this product can help you with that. The second thing that I really noticed on that very third day, again, was the mental clarity. And when I say mental clarity, the best way I can describe it to you is cobwebs or like clouds, like fog in your brain. And I didn't even know that I had it. I never would have described myself that way, but I had it for so long, I had gotten used to it. And the way that you'll know if you have it, if you were like me, is do you write down like a to-do list, every single thing because you can't remember? Or you walk into a room and you're like, what, why'd I walk in here again? That was me. That was me. It was exactly what I felt like. And I just felt like I was sharp. I was like, when I was getting into my clinical practices, talking to the doctors about clinical studies, like numbers, statistics were flying off. And I was like, wow, man, this is great. It really impacted me at work because I could think so clear. That was huge for me. And that is huge for you to be able to have that mental clarity. And the third best thing that I felt in that first 30 days was sleep. So drop a comment below, give me some love if you are asleep, like have issues sleeping. Because I will tell you, I do believe that a lot of women, we don't sleep great. Like if you have children, once you have children, they're like, you never sleep good again, right? It's not true. It doesn't have to be true. I was a terrible sleeper for a good decade of my life. Since I probably had kids, I woke up a lot in the middle of the night. I'm type A, my wheels were spinning. I was thinking about everything I had to do the next day, and I just couldn't sleep. So I would get up and I would, start working or doing whatever around the house. And around day 10 for me on the Thrive experience, I will never forget that night of sleep. I slept through the night. I woke up just 2 or 3 minutes before my alarm clock, and I felt like I was 25 years old. And let me tell you, I'm not close to 25, but I just felt so youthful. I felt so energized. And it was because of what the Thrive experience was doing in it, because it had allowed me sleep. So the end of 30 days, I had energy in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. I had mental clarity where I could become effective at my business. I could become effective at communications. I could squeeze more in to my day, which all of us women want. All those glass balls that I was barely struggling to keep above air became easier to manage because I felt better. I started taking care of myself. My sleep was better. Everything came full circle. And so if you are looking for something that really impacts the way you physically feel, and it will impact every aspect of your personal and professional life, be skeptical. I always encourage people, I think it's kind of funny when people aren't, but what do you have to lose for 30 days? Like, what do you have to lose? And that's what I felt like. And cool enough, 13 months later, I was able to leave my pharmaceutical career and really help other women get healthier in their life and all of those fun things. And so it's been such a joy. If you have any questions about my story or about aspects of my story, there's been lots of other benefits to you guys. I lost 15 pounds my very first 8 weeks. I also began to get really motivated in the gym. And at 41 years old, I am in better shape now than I was when I was a college athlete. And that feels really good. And it's really setting a good role model for my girls. So thanks for letting me share a little bit about my story, Tish.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And, we talk a lot about it, but it's fabulous. And if you have any questions, reach out to me. I can even put you in contact with Kelly. I'm sure she'd be happy to answer any questions you have, but reach out because this is amazing. And aging backwards couldn't be more fun. So hope you all have a great day. And thanks again, Kelly. Thanks, Ralph Ann. And we'll talk soon. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a good rest of your day.